Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We are really glad you are here with us today. We have a topic that is incredibly practical and comes up in everyday English conversation all the time. These are two phrasal verbs that both use the word look, but mean something completely different and are used in completely different situations.
That is right. Today we are talking about look up and look for, two phrasal verbs that learners often confuse or use interchangeably when they should not. Once you understand the difference today, you'll use both of them correctly and naturally every single time.
We're going to cover what each phrasal verb means, how they work grammatically, the situations where each one is used, related forms and expressions, common mistakes, two real conversations, and a quiz. Let's get into it.
Let us start with look for. Look for means to search for something or someone. When you look for something, you are trying to find it. You do not yet have it, or you do not know where it is, and you are making an effort to locate it. The searching is ongoing, and the result is not guaranteed.
I'm looking for my keys. She looked for a new flat for 3 months. He is looking for a job. We looked for a good restaurant, but everything was fully booked. The police are looking for the missing dog. In every one of those sentences, someone is engaged in a search. They want to find something, and they're making an effort to locate it.
Look for can be used for physical objects you have lost or misplaced. I've been looking for my glasses for 20 minutes. It can be used for things you want to find or obtain. She's looking for a better opportunity. It can be used for people. Are you looking for someone? I'm looking for the manager. And it can be used in more abstract situations. He's been looking for answers his whole life. We're looking for a solution to this problem.
The important thing about look for is that the searching is ongoing or was ongoing. You haven't necessarily found what you were looking for. I was looking for a book on grammar doesn't tell us whether you found one. The focus is on the searching process itself. The outcome is separate.
Now let's talk about look up. Look up has more than one meaning, and each one is quite different from look for. The first and most common meaning of look up is to search for specific information in a reference source. You look up a word in a dictionary. You look up a phone number in a directory. You look up a fact online. The key here is that you're checking a specific piece of information in a source that contains it.
I looked up the word in the dictionary. She is looking up the train times. He looked up the recipe online. Can you look up the address for me? I always look up words I don't know. In all of these sentences, the person is going to a specific source to retrieve a specific piece of information. The information exists somewhere, and you are going to find it.
This is different from look for, because when you look up something, you're fairly confident the information exists, and you're going to a specific source to retrieve it. When you look for something, you're searching and the outcome is uncertain. You look up a word because dictionaries have words. You look for a word that explains a feeling because you're not sure if such a word even exists.
The second meaning of look up is to improve or get better, usually used for situations or circumstances. Things are looking up means the situation is improving. Business is looking up means business is getting better. After a difficult few months, things finally started looking up for them. This use is always about improvement or a positive change in circumstances.
So, to summarize, look up has three main meanings: to search for specific information in a reference source, to improve or get better, and to visit or contact someone after time apart. Look for has one core meaning: to search for something or someone you want to find.
Now let's look at the grammar of these phrasal verbs, because this is where learners can sometimes get confused about word order.
Look for is a phrasal verb that always keeps look and for together. You cannot separate them. You look for something. I'm looking for the manager. She looked for a new job. They are looking for a solution. The object always comes after look for. You cannot put the object between look and for. Look the manager for would be completely wrong.
Look up is a separable phrasal verb, at least in its first meaning of searching for information. This means you can put the object between look and up, or you can put it after up. I looked up the word in the dictionary. I looked the word up in the dictionary. Both are correct. But when the object is a pronoun, like it, him, her, or them, you must put the pronoun between look and up. You must say, I looked it up, not I looked up it. That rule applies to all separable phrasal verbs in English.
So, for look up with information, I'll look up the address, or I'll look the address up. Both work, but it must go between. I looked it up. You cannot say I looked up it. For look for, there is no separation. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for the answer. Always together.
Let's look at some useful phrases. With look for trouble means to behave in a way that will cause problems. He was looking for trouble from the start. Look no further means you have found what you need. If you want the best coffee, look no further than this place. With look it up is one of the most common modern phrases since the internet. If you don't know, look it up. Things are looking up means things are improving. If you're ever in the city, look me up means visit or contact me.
Now let's go through the mistakes, because this is where learners can really sharpen their accuracy. Mistake number 1, using look up when you mean look for. This is the most common confusion. A learner might say, I'm looking up my keys, or she's looking up a new job. These are wrong because keys and a new job are things you are searching for and trying to find. You use look for. I'm looking for my keys. She's looking for a new job. Look up is for retrieving specific information from a source or for improvement or for contacting someone, not for general searching.
Mistake number 2, using look for when you mean look up. A learner might say, I'm going to look for that word in the dictionary, or can you look for the phone number online? These are wrong, because you're not searching for something of uncertain existence. Dictionaries contain words, and the internet has phone numbers. You go to retrieve specific information. I'm going to look up that word in the dictionary. Can you look up the phone number online?
Mistake number 3, trying to separate look for. A learner might say, I looked the manager for, or can you look a restaurant for us? Look for cannot be separated. The object always comes after look for as a whole unit. I'm looking for the manager. Can you look for a restaurant for us?
Mistake number 4, putting the pronoun in the wrong place with look up. A learner might say, I looked up it, or she looked up them. When the object of look up is a pronoun, it must go between look and up. I looked it up. She looked them up. He looked her up. The pronoun cannot go after up. I looked up it is always wrong. Mistake number 5, using look up to describe improving when the subject is a person. A learner might say, she is looking up after the difficult year, when they want to say, she is doing better. Things look up. Situations look up, circumstances look up, but people do not look up in this sense. You say, she is doing better. Things are looking up for her. The subject of look up in the improving sense is always a situation or circumstance, not a person. Mistake number 6, forgetting that look for implies ongoing uncertainty. Some learners use I looked for something and then continue the sentence as if they definitely found it. I looked for the answer and it was on page 10. This is not wrong, but if you found it on page 10, the more natural continuation would be, I found the answer on page 10, or I looked for the answer and found it on page 10. The outcome of look for is finding. Once you find it, the verb find takes over.
6 mistakes and 6 clear corrections. These are the exact patterns that will make your use of look up and look for precise and natural.
Now, let us hear 2 conversations so you can see both phrasal verbs working naturally together.
First conversation. Two friends talking about planning a trip.
Are you still looking for a hotel in the city center?
I am. I have been looking for one for the past week, and nothing is available at a reasonable price. Can you look up some alternatives for me on that travel website you use?
Of course. What dates are you looking for?
The 17th to the 20th. While you look that up, can you also look for somewhere outside the center? I'm not fussy, as long as the transport links are good.
Sure. Actually, things are looking up on this site. There are a few options here. Let me look up the reviews for this one. It has 4.5 stars.
Great. Can you look up the exact location too? I want to know how close it is to the main station.
It's about 10 minutes by taxi. Shall I look up the taxi fares as well?
Yes, please. And if you look up the breakfast prices separately, that would be helpful. Sometimes the included options are not worth it.
Right. I've looked everything up. It looks like a solid option. Want me to look up one more to compare?
That would be great. I just want to make sure I'm not looking for a better deal when one this good is right in front of me.
Notice the pattern. Look for ongoing searches. Looking for a hotel. Looking for one. Looking for somewhere outside the center. Looking for a better deal. Look up for retrieving information. Look up some alternatives. Look that up. Look up the reviews. Look up the location. Look up the fares. And things are looking up for improvement.
Second conversation. Two colleagues at work.
Do you know the exact wording of that new regulation? I cannot remember it.
I do not. I will look it up for you. Do you know which document it's in?
It should be in the compliance handbook. If you can't find it there, look for it in the updated guidelines from last month.
Right. I'm looking it up now. Yes, here it is. Let me read it out to you.
Perfect. Also, while you have that open, can you look up the deadline for submissions?
Of course. Give me a second. It says the 15th of next month. And I noticed while I was looking through the document that there's a new form we need to complete. I've been looking for a blank copy of it, but I can't find one anywhere.
Have you looked on the internal system?
Not yet. I will look for it there now. Do you know what it's called?
I think it's called Form 7B, but you might want to look that up to confirm.
Good idea. Found it. Things are definitely looking up now that we have everything we need.
That conversation showed both phrasal verbs in a natural, professional setting. Look it up, look up the deadline, look that up, all retrieved specific information. Look for it, look for a blank copy, all described active searches. And things are looking up ended it naturally.
Quiz time. 5 sentences. Correct or incorrect? Take a moment before each answer.
Sentence 1. I have been looking up a new flat for the past 6 weeks with no luck.
Take a moment. This is incorrect. Looking for a flat is a search for something not yet found. Look for is needed. The correct sentence is, I have been looking for a new flat for the past 6 weeks with no luck.
Sentence 2. Can you look it up in the dictionary and tell me what it means?
This is correct. Looking up a word in the dictionary is retrieving specific information from a source. Look up is right, and the pronoun it is correctly placed between look and up.
Sentence 3. She looked for the number online and found it straight away.
This is a slightly awkward sentence. If she found it straight away, look for implies more uncertainty than actually existed. Look up would be more natural here since the number exists online and she was retrieving it. She looked up the number online and found it straight away. But this is a nuance rather than an outright error.
Mistake number 4. I looked it up in the manual, but I couldn't find the section.
This is incorrect. When the object is a pronoun, it must go between look and up. The correct sentence is, I looked it up in the manual, but couldn't find the section.
Sentence 5. After a difficult few months, things are finally looking up for the team.
This is correct. Looking up here means things are improving. The subject is things, which is a situation, not a person. Natural and correct. How did you do? If you got all 5 right, you have a solid understanding of both phrasal verbs. If you missed some, go back to the core difference. Look for is for searching for something when the outcome is uncertain. Look up is for retrieving specific information, for improvement, or to contact someone.
Let's finish with a clear summary. Look for means to search for something or someone you want to find. The search is ongoing and the outcome is uncertain. The object always comes after look for, and the two words cannot be separated.
Look up has 3 meanings. To retrieve specific information from a source, like a dictionary, the internet, or a document. To improve or get better, used for situations and circumstances. And to visit or contact someone after a period of time. Look up is separable with noun objects, but pronouns must go between look and up.
The one test every time. Are you searching for something of uncertain existence or location? Use look for. Are you going to a specific source to retrieve information that exists there? Use look up. Is the situation getting better? Use looking up. Are you contacting someone? Use look up.
And that's everything for today. We hope this episode gave you complete clarity and real confidence with look up and look for. These are phrasal verbs you'll use every single day, and now you know exactly which one fits in any situation.
Your practice task. Write 4 sentences. 1 using look for to describe a search, 1 using look up to retrieve information with a pronoun placed correctly, 1 using things are looking up to describe improvement, and 1 using look up to describe contacting someone. That covers every meaning from today.
Leave your questions in the comments. We love hearing from our listeners every week.
Share this episode with someone who's learning English. Phrasal verbs are one of the trickiest parts of English, and every lesson like this one helps enormously.
Take care of yourself and keep practicing.
We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and keep going. You're doing brilliantly.